What's up, guys? This is Rhett Harmon, the community connector.
And I'm James Paul, the content creator.
This is the Random to Real Estate radio show.
Yes, sir.
And we basically, our audience, who's going to benefit from listening to this, we want to add value to anyone that has a small business, a side hustle. They're trying to just make more friends, or they want to know how to be more likable and more genuine in what they do. We're going to show you kind of some things, tips and tricks that will help you grow as a person, grow as a business, and have a lot of fun while doing it. So, James, man, welcome back.
Hey, welcome, Rhett.
Yeah. Man, well, actually, you should be, I guess I have it the other way. This is your studio, man. I love this space, man. This is such a neat thing here on the square in Carrollton, Georgia.
Appreciate it, man.
All the people walk by kind of peek in the window. What's going on there?
Yeah.
The new podcast studio and all the other stuff that you do. Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about on this episode about the whole community connector and what that means. And I'm going to give a little quick back history on this stuff. James and I were introduced together through a mutual friend. We were basically starting our businesses at the same time.
Yeah.
You're a professor at West Georgia.
Yep.
For mass communications.
Yeah. I was in the mass comm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we were starting a brand new real estate brokerage as a startup.
Right. That's right.
So we wanted to do some things a little bit different, do some video content. So we said, look, let's get together. We met, did a couple of videos, and said, we got to make this more permanent.
Yeah.
So what we did is we got a chance to come up with a plan that works. So one day a month, we've been doing this literally, guys, for 6 years, since August of 2014.
Yeah.
We have been getting together once a month for a whole day shooting video content.
That's right. An entire day.
And James and I got together, and he was doing his business. We were doing ours. So look, let's do a whole day of this. We're going to do the video as much as we can do. He could edit it in between his other video shoots he was doing.
Right.
And we're going to highlight the community and basically offer a chance to connect other people in the community with knowing why is it great to live and work here? We live and work here.
Right.
A lot of people that do live and work here know about it, but it's so bizarre. Like every month we find out about something new. We had no idea that takes place here, or something that somebody does that we didn't know about.
Right. Right. Because there's always a new idea coming.
There is. And I don't, gosh, we have to really be honest with ourselves. 800 to 1,000 videos, James?
Yeah. We're up there, man.
You've done a lot of editing.
Yeah. I'm doing a lot. That's why I put "the" in front of the content creator. You know what I mean? Because we're creating a lot of content. I mean, we may not be up there with Gary V yet.
We're putting it out there, though.
But we're putting it out there. And you'll be surprised at what goes on in your community that you have no idea of. And
look, we're not going to say we invented this concept. This has been around for a long time, but it's like the digital mayor, some people call it, or whatever it is. So look, those of you tuning in or don't know me, like, I sell real estate, obviously. I own a real estate company.
Yeah.
James does video content creation.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, what I do for a living is very needed for the people that are in the process of buying or selling. But after they've finished their transaction, how do we stay in touch with them? How do we attract people to want to know about our community, or really know about what's going on with our company? So we say, we could be boring like every other industry is and just talk only about what they do. Not every industry, but a lot of them do.
Right.
Or we could go in and let's talk about something completely different. Let's talk about why is it great to live and work here? So that's where Video Day came from. That's why we started it, and that's why we continue to do it. Mm-hmm. And it took a couple of years for people to really, really catch on to this.
Because when we first started it off, boy, no one understood what we were doing.
You mean you're going to do this for us, and I need to be on camera, and what's it going to cost me again?
Yeah.
You said it doesn't. No, we're doing this. I'm paying him.
Yep.
I know what you do. I use your company.
Yep.
We're going to make a video about you, a little commercial.
And it works.
I need to get the person that's young and attractive that works for my company to talk about. No, we need you because you created it, and you're the one that set the processes and systems. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about why you do what you do.
Yeah, and here's one thing that you all should think about too, or should know, is that not every business owner is comfortable being in front of the camera.
A lot of people aren't. Most of the people listening to this podcast are not comfortable.
Yeah, they're not. And so we developed a system that just organically happened, and where we get them comfortable. And then before you know it, they're talking longer than we expected, or they expected as well.
Well, because James, what it comes down to, you get someone in their element. I don't care what it is they do. If it's a scientist, right? You try to have a conversation about cars, they may not care about cars.
Yeah.
But you get them into talking about whatever kind of science they do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna get into it and tell you about it because that's their passion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So most people that own a business, they did it because they had a passion to want to do it.
That's right.
Or it could have been for they saw opportunity or a need.
Yes.
One of the three that's in there is going to come about, and either way, if it's a benefit to other people, let's share the story. You know?
Yeah.
And so that's where it comes together. But with anything you're doing, content creation wise, the number one thing is consistency. You've got to be consistent with it. And you got to come up with your cadence. Like, how often are you going to do this?
Right.
You got to have you got to work on, who your audience is going to be, obviously. And that's where a lot of us struggle. Who really is the audience?
Yeah.
The audience, in my opinion, that's most organic are the people that already like, know, and trust you.
Yep.
And that's where you just look at it from a standpoint of like, who are your friends?
Yeah.
And when I say friends, you talk about friends, or if we're using Facebook as an example, if it's social media or whatever, it doesn't have to be the I'm going to have them come over to dinner on Sunday evenings.
Right.
It's an acquaintance, somebody that you know, somebody that you met.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything. It doesn't have to be anything much more than that, but it may be someone that you could help out, and they may be able to help out you, or maybe you've worked together in the past, or whatever it is. So the more connections you can have with people, the more you can connect. And that's what we try to do, is just put things out there that are going to be beneficial for others. And then at the end of the day, they know what you do for a living. Mm-hmm. And that's that whole random to real estate, or random to you insert your profession right there.
Right. You definitely got to get out of that shy mode of not wanting to talk or feeling embarrassed about whatever your flaws are. You got to be willing to put it out there, because think about it. Like, so many times we've heard people say, well, I don't like the way that I sound. Well, guess what? Every time you're talking, we hear it.
Yep.
So there's no secret here.
Everyone has 2 ears.
I don't like the way that I look in front of the camera. Well, guess what? We see it every single day, and so do other people's every time you walk out of your house. So get used to it.
Yeah, and at the same time, let's think about this. There's other ways that you can promote your business yourself to other people through what's going on. It doesn't have to be the talking head of yourself in front of a camera.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us. I may be one of them that has a face for radio.
Yeah, there it is.
But anyway,
But it's true though, because like for me, I wasn't comfortable being in front of the camera, so I led with coffee.
Yep.
You see, and then eventually the community grew from that.
Yeah, and a lot of times it wasn't even like you in the picture. It was just it was your hand making the coffee.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You were pouring the water, putting in the coffee pot, adding the coffee to it, grinding the whatever you had to do, showing the steps of that. So there's other things that you can do to kind of point out what's going on. You can show processes. You can show things from experience. You can show other people enjoying whatever it is that's going on, or benefiting from, or experiencing whatever it is. So. You could have a house cleaning business, and maybe you're not showing yourself cleaning the house, but you could show the before and after, what's going on with it. This was a disaster. Now it's not. Right. You're creating something that could be benefit. Oh, I see you did a good job. Okay. I need that.
Yep. Whatever. Definitely. So. Yeah. Right. Before and after pictures. Mm-hmm. You can start with that, and then eventually start going a little bit more into details. Now you've just doubled up your content. I'm telling you guys, there's so many ways that you can create content from the simplest things. You just got to be willing to look for it and be open to it. And at the same time, like Rett is saying, connect with people. If you're not connecting with people, people are not going to know who you are, right? If you don't have eyeballs or ears on your stuff, then what kind of attention can you possibly get? If nobody knows who you are, then you can't make money.
Absolutely. And we see things all the time. We post and we put things out there, and other people respond to it. That's all the same thing. That's just it's the same stuff. Keep doing that. Yeah. Do more of it. Like, I don't even think Senior came in an hour or so ago. It came in. And I saw this picture. Or was a sign that was on a wall of a building we're selling. Took a picture of it, and I should have posted it. Didn't even think about it. Brought in and showed James. Hey, James, you should put this on the wall of your business. Yep. And he's like, oh, I'm posting that right now. I was like, man, why didn't I post that? Just tag him in it. Yep. But that's one of those things that I saw value in it. He could be valuable for his business, but it could be valuable for others. So it's little things like that others might benefit from, and that's just the way that we can become more valuable, more interesting, more whatever it is to the audience that's out there.
Right.
But yeah, so if you're tuning into this for the first time's podcast, we're going to really do what we can to add value, be helpful to other people that are trying to grow personally, professionally, and try to get out there and basically have growth with it and learn how to do these things. It's not hard. It's just you have to be intentional.
Yes, very intentional.
Consistent with it.
Consistent, yeah.
It's easy to give up. It's easy to say, man, I got a great idea and do it 2 or 3 times and not get much success from it and then stop.
Right.
First 2 years of us doing these videos, we got some traction from it, but it wasn't consistent traction.
Yeah.
We consistently did the videos, but we were still like, what are these people? Who does this guy think he is walking around with a guy with a camera talking about local business stuff. And I actually had competition use that against me. Well, Rhett doesn't sell real estate anymore. He just goes around with a video guy and films business stuff.
Right.
He's not really selling real estate. All the while, I'm selling more real estate than I ever have.
Exactly.
But people don't realize you got to take your time to put into your marketing promotions of what you're doing. I said, look, if we're going to spend this much time marketing other businesses, look what we're going to do to market your property.
Right.
Then that starts it. So
there it is, right?
So you take the time and realize, like, it's just an example of what we do. You have to kind of carry from one section of your life over to the other as much as possible. But we're gonna have guests on here. You may have you may want to be a guest on here. We're gonna eventually have it at a point where we can have people that have see if we can offer them some help for their business, like a little Q&A. Because look, we can learn everything. James, we yet to talk to somebody we haven't learned something from.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Every time,
every single time.
And I think a lot of times people have learned something from us.
From us, yeah. Yeah.
And, a lot of times we learned what not to do.
Right. Oh, yeah. Now, those are the ones that I love the most.
Yeah. Maybe I need to be more cautious in the way I say something so it doesn't get taken that way or whatever it is, But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, we're constantly meeting people.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're it's a pay it forward kind of approach that we've taken to a lot of this stuff. And, that community digital mayor, whatever it is, to let people know what's going on. But it's
paying it forward. I wanted to touch on that. Guys, when you pay it forward, like what we're talking about now, especially within your community, you actually make that person's day. And when they understand that there's nothing expected in return, you have no idea what they're probably willing to do for you just because you did that.
I'll give an example. Just you were talking about community connector. We're going to talk about some stuff right here. I just thought about with James. Right. So he got this space. Here's amazing space right here on the square. And he's like, man, I need internet service. Rhett, who do you use? I was like, well, I know we've tried one, and then we had to do something different. Right, I was like, hey, I've got a good contact at a good company for that.
Yeah.
And I gave him a call. That's a community connector.
Yes.
I saved James a little bit of time. I said, look, this is what this company does. This is who I've talked to. Here's a sales rep.
Yep.
I didn't get anything from that, but at the same time, like, he was able to know who to call for that.
Yeah.
And he needed a recommendation, and I gave him one.
Yeah.
A list of 3 people to do something is not exactly a recommendation.
Right.
I said, this is who I use. Give them a call if it works for you. If it doesn't, call me back. I can give you another alternative if that makes sense.
Right.
Depends on what you want to spend, what speed you're looking for, whatever it is. But I said, I kind of start with what I'm doing first if I think that's the right need.
Yeah. And the guy called me right away, and I know it's because I said, Rhett referred you to me.
Well, I sent the guy a text also back to him and say, hey, listen, my buddy James is opening up a shop. Take good care of him.
Yeah.
Make sure you'll give him the best pricing. Give him the best pricing you can for what it is.
Yes.
I didn't ask for anything special or important.
Right.
Their best pricing is probably what it is for everybody. But either way, I wanted to make sure he got attention and it didn't get lost in the transaction.
Yeah. And he honored that, though. He honored the very fact that I knew you and that you sent him a text already letting him know. So automatically he knew the community connector was making another connection for him. You see how that works, guys? And it's just a constant chain reaction, but you got to be genuine.
And I don't expect any from it other than like, hey, he had a problem or he had a need.
Yeah.
I knew somebody that fulfilled that need.
Yep.
I connected them together.
Yeah.
We do it all the time, guys.
Yeah. That's
just
the way
like
it
somebody
goes.
needs to sell a house. Hey, Rhett Harmon sells houses. Give him a call.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, I'll help him out. Or I need somebody to sell my building. Okay, great.
Yeah.
James, I need to lease a space. I need you to review this lease from the owner.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll look at it. So we sat there and help with that. So all these little things come together, and we don't think about it, but the more that we help each other out like that, it's just so rewarding knowing that we're able to help someone out with whatever it is.
Right.
And there's a lot of us in our businesses that we have these people that are always out there. They're our champions. Hey, you got to call this person. You got to call this person.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. But that's a lot of what keeps everything together, and people know what they're doing. So when we're local in a smaller community, all the more important to know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
But that's coming full circle back to why do we do the video tape? Because there's so many unique and great businesses and people here that are operating and doing the same thing over and over and over. They're paying their bills. They're contributing to our communities through their volunteer stuff, through doing whatever they do. But a lot of people still don't really know, who do I see for this, especially somebody new coming to the area.
Right.
Maybe someone that's new to needing that type of service.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier. You needed something hung on the wall, right?
Yeah.
It's a concrete wall. I don't really like being on ladders.
Yeah.
So, hey, why don't you? And I referred him back to somebody already said, why don't you call your client you did a video for that does that, construction?
Yeah, and I texted him right away because I was like, wow, how come I didn't think of that? But he was right.
So we all have a lot of people internally that we can connect with. And like I said, hey, if you don't trust yourself being on a ladder, don't get on the ladder.
Right.
Just pay somebody to do it, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't. I mean, if you guys don't know me, I'm like 6'2" or 6'3". Imagine that fall, right?
Something's going to break. Probably the floor, but.
So I stay away from the ladders. But going back to what we're talking about, when you begin to connect with people in the community, your resources should become limitless. You know what I mean? Because if you think now, let's go back for a second, Rett, this is one thing that I learned with Rett is that as soon as he gets a business card, right? You want to tell him what you do with that?
I take a picture of it.
Yep.
I save contact information from every single person.
Yes.
I've got probably, my wife's Jennifer, and I probably get 65 Jennifers in my phone. Anyone that I've ever met that I've had a conversation with in any kind of capacity for anything, I save their number. Or if they've called me about something, I'll save their number. First name, last name, in the proper places on my phone. And also go in there where, if they're not part of a business, I might put where I met them at Rotary Networking
That's
event.
A pretty good
or whatever it is. And then
process.
That way, if they call me back again, I've got a number. Countlessly, I've had people call me 5-6 years later.
Right.
And I can see them in that feed. Also, don't delete text messages. I can go back in there and find old conversations with people.
It is, yeah.
But, if use an example, I always tell people that are in real estate all the time, someone's looking for, you're at a networking event and someone is looking for a log cabin on 10 acres. Okay. Just use that as an example.
Right.
Met this guy at Rotary Networking event looking for log cabin. That may be kind of long. You can make a note inside the contact.
Yeah.
This is what you can do when you're looking at MLS 3 weeks later and new listing. Log home, 10 acres. Oh my gosh, who's that guy I met the other night?
Yep.
Dang, I can't think of his name. I know it was a very common name. I can't think of it. You go straight to your phone and you type in log cabin or you type in 10 acres. Guess what pops up?
Yep.
That guy's name, his phone number, all the stuff. You give him a call and say, hey, look, Mr. whatever his name is, assume it's John.
Right.
Hey, John, would you like to buy this mobile home? I found one for you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. When can we go look at it? Insert your business or whatever business it is with whatever that is. We all meet people all the time. We all connect things together.
Right.
That's a little bit more specific to a networking thing, but it could be that. And then when I get to meet John again, realize, well, John is in the construction industry and he has handyman service or whatever it is. Well, then I can then change his contact to, I remember he was more out. I've had a second conversation with him, not just meeting him for 5 minutes, go in there and put information about what he does as his business. Maybe I got that to start with, but who knows?
Yeah.
Now I can connect him. Well, tell me more about what you do. We've worked together a few times. Maybe he buys the log cabin. Maybe he doesn't. But either way, we've met. We've talked more. I then have a better level of comfort in saying, well, this guy seems pretty nice.
Yeah.
He has a business doing this. I don't have to personally endorse him. So look, I could tell if Andy, our producer Andy, says, hey, I need somebody to do some handyman work. So look, I've never hired this guy. I met him at a Rotary event.
Yep.
I showed him a property.
Yep.
He seemed very knowledgeable. And he might be someone you want to give a try.
Yeah.
I've never hired him, so I don't know. He may be expensive. He may not be. But and it's okay to connect people that you don't fully know. But just you don't. But don't. Oh, John's the best guy ever. He does this kind of work. You should hire him. He's great.
Be honest.
Be honest. Yeah. Go with it straightforward. But we can connect people because you know what's better if Andy asked me, do you know somebody's a handyman? I had no one to tell him. That would be worse in my opinion than not connecting somebody to come together because Andy might be able to hire that guy and then he might help that guy get the next job.
Yeah.
And then that guy might, and then, I say, Andy, tell this guy I told you to call him.
But one of the things that I don't want people to miss within your process of getting the business cards, taking the pictures and putting all the information in your phone is that it also is a huge benefit for follow-up. That's usually where we mess up in business 100%. Is follow-up. Because we have so many things going on in our lives, right? But if you do put in those little things like what he just mentioned about the 10 acres or whatever it is in your notes and you do a search on your phone, I promise you that will be so beneficial to you later on because we all forget the follow-up part.
So for the folks that are in the real estate industry or that work with referral business across the country,
right?
I had someone was asking the other day, who do we know in Cincinnati? Well, I was like, I don't know. Who's that guy? I know the guy and see his face. I just typed in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Pulled them up my phone. Oh yeah, here you go. Here's the contact.
Yep. It works.
Real estate agent or
Yeah.
broker or whatever in that area. So I have contacts all over the country and in multiple countries of people that I have met in person that seem to be, if someone's taking their time out of their business, can afford to be able to go to a conference, they maybe have some level of success most of the time.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with them. They seem to be, doing things the right way. Give them a shot, or if nothing else, at least I have somebody. I've never used them before, never heard of them. Here's somebody in this area. Give them a call.
That happened, and we found out about it the day of the shoot. So I'll tell you what I'm talking about. On our last video day, right, we scheduled to have the shoot here in the studio, and as I'm walking into I'm walking up to my door, a gentleman says, "Hey James," and I looked at him, but I could not recognize him for anything. And so he was like, "Hey, man, I did some pest control stuff for your house a few years ago." And I'm still looking at him like, "Dude, I have no idea who you are right now." And so anyway, we go and we begin to talk, and then I finally, it clicked. But it was when he went to give me his phone number, and I'm typing it in, and it popped right up on my phone. And I'm like, whoa. That process worked, because I forgot, man. I met this dude 4 years ago, but I followed the process that you're talking about right now.
Save everybody's number.
Yeah, and when I looked at the notes, it all came back, and I knew exactly who he was, where we met, what we talked about, and then when he began to tell me how much our conversation back then has helped him in his content creation now, mind blowing, and we have that on videos, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, here's another thing I'll throw out to people. And I've heard people say, well, you know what? There's some people I don't want to talk to again. Those are the people you need to save first.
Yes.
You can save that person. That person did me wrong or whatever.
Right.
No, not to refer them. But if they call you, you may not. You can screen the call and realize,
right.
You know what? I don't want to answer.
Yeah.
Forget about erasing their phone number. Just put in there, this person, shady.
Yep.
Whatever.
Shady individual. That's it. Don't answer it.
Don't answer it, or just know what you're getting into, if nothing else, if you do answer it. So
yeah, and what we're getting at, guys, is don't overlook the little things, the small things, because it all can play an important role in your business, and how you network, how you close a deal, how you just go about your day, and the way that people view you as well.
And don't ever underestimate where someone might grow to in a position.
Oh yeah.
The person that was working as a teller at the bank when you first went there that you were rude to, eventually years down the road is the president making the decisions of if you're going to get the loan or not.
That's right. Respect the small guy.
Absolutely, 100% all the time. And so just think about it. You just treat people like you want to be treated.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. So anyway, a couple little small tips. We've kind of dropped a little nuggets of info on you guys to make sure that you have an idea about what this is, what it's about, and hopefully you found value in this. That's the whole point.
And do us a favor. If you like what you're hearing, right, and you have some topics that you would like for us to touch on, shoot us a comment. Leave us a comment on the platform that you're listening to this on. And we'll check it out and we'll talk about it.
Absolutely. And we have a YouTube channel called Random 2 Real Estate, Random 2 Real Estate, and several examples of our brokerage page, and we have some links in our bio and everything. So James has got a bunch of stuff on his business page. Yeah. And then of course Century 21 Novus is our Facebook business page we have there with it. So, but that's just an example. This is not an endorsement. We're trying to earn business from with this. We are trying to give out good information that we've learned. From each other, from other people, and life's too short to come up with we'll learn everything on our own or try to experience everything on the wrong way. Right. Let's learn from each other and grow. And like I said, we're always trying to make it the best we can, and help share other stories.
Yeah. Maybe someone out there struggling on finding their random. Yep. And so tell us that.
Yeah, listen to that first podcast we did. And what is your random? I'll throw a little quick. Show the logo right there on my phone. The ones you guys are watching this on a video feed,
and it's on our shirts too.
Yeah, random 2 Real Estate. Basically, everyone has a random, and I'll kind of close on this. Random from me, and I take the things that are doing. R has a tie in it for the suit. A's got people in it for the family, my family. N has windows and a door for real estate. The D has a fish. I like to do fishing and take people fishing with my kids. The O has a microphone. We're on a microphone right now. I do a little karaoke. I also like to do a little public speaking and sharing some knowledge with people on conferences and stuff. And then the M is a film strip. That's for the video that we do.
That's right.
And try to always thinking about creating that content for our community so we can connect them all together. Yeah. So this has been the Random to Real Estate Radio podcast show.
There it is.
Extravaganza.
Yes, sir.
We add to the name every time. We'll come up with a few more.
We'll come up with a few more.
But we appreciate it. Rhett Harmon, your community connector.
And I am James SP, the content creator. And remember, use the hashtag Random to Real Estate.
Random to Real Estate.
All right, guys. Y'all take care. Peace.